Welcome to テンプル大学 Japan Campus Kyoto.
Rainy day. How are you doing, Matt, today?
It's an exceptional day to be here to talk about Temple University and our foray into Kyoto.
Amazing. This is our second time, and I think there are people who might not know about TUJ a lot because last time you did talk about it. Can you just briefly talk about what is TUJ?
Absolutely. Temple University, a big university in the United States, in the birthplace of the U.S., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, founded in 1884 by a visionary who wanted to provide access to everyone to get a university degree, understanding the value that it plays in employment, opportunities, even increased lifespan. Now, Temple University is a public university in the state of Pennsylvania that 43 years ago decided that they wanted to expand their mission to Japan. So in 1982, Temple University came to Tokyo with this vision that they could provide American-style liberal arts education in English to the Japanese people or the residents of Japan. And so for the last 42 years, or 43 years now, in Tokyo, it has been an adventure and an incredible opportunity for students from not only Japan, but around the world to get a top quality, highly ranked international education in English. And yesterday, when I say yesterday, this month here in Kyoto, we have opened a new campus.
Why Kyoto? You have a campus in Tokyo, facility, and there are a lot of students there. What made you to choose Kyoto, not Osaka or Hiroshima? There are other amazing places in Japan.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a great question. Temple University today in Japan has over 2,800 students. We have 2,600 students from 80 different countries, if you can believe that. 40% of our students are from the United States, 30% are from Japan, and 30% are from other countries around the world. And our growth recently has been tremendous. Over the last 10 years, our undergraduate student body has tripled in size.
Wow.
Over the last 4 years, it has doubled. In fact, this is our new spring semester. We have over 2,600 undergraduate students. And with this growth and with space constraints in Japan, or in Tokyo, and particularly with our mission to really expand international education in English across the country, it was about 2 years ago when Seibo Jogakuin, over by the Fushimi Inari Shrine, they approached us and said, we see that Temple is growing, and growing very quickly. And we happen to have a junior college that went out of business 5 or 6 years ago. We have some great buildings, we have great facilities, we have great people. Would you be interested in expanding to Kyoto? And, as president of the campus, I had not really given Kyoto or expansion beyond Tokyo much thought. But as I came down to Kyoto and I explored the Fushimi area, I was just amazed. The facilities were incredible. The people were really warm. And what I saw was an opportunity to bring in students from overseas and introduce them not only to Tokyo and that metropolitan flair, but to get students out of Tokyo into the real Japan. And part of the real Japan is Kyoto. And just truly amazing in terms of the culture here, the opportunities, whether it's business or whether it's social, whatever it might be, the proximity to different major cities in Kansai, and really to have the new capital of Tokyo and the ancient capital of Kyoto available to our students. There was just an attractiveness to this that really, as I started to talk to our leadership team, as I started to float the idea to our students and other people, everybody was really excited about being able to provide our students with a Kyoto experience combined with the Tokyo experience and take that international to the United States.
Wow, that's amazing. And as you were talking, I could see that a lot of time you use the word our students. It seems like you are very focused on how the experiences of your students here, whether they're from the US or from any other country, or students who are living here in Japan. How is the experience of students? Let's say if there's a student interested in studying here at TUJ Kyoto or Tokyo, and they want to like how our experience is going to be different from any other university here in Japan, especially universities from other countries. How would you differentiate it? Like, what's the difference?
You know, at Temple University, at TUJ, Temple University Japan, we're all about students. In fact, our strategic plan, it talks about students. We prioritize students, we put them first. We really desire not only their success, but their growth and, you know, the connectivity that's there, you know, really instilling in them what I believe are critical skills for success in the future. And so when we talk about critical skills, oftentimes in the vernacular, it's talking about soft skills. They're not soft, they're really critical, and that's communication. That's being able to critically analyze what's out there, you know, to be able to effectively persuade others, right? To be able to bridge country to country, culture to culture. And that's really what we're truly about. So if somebody were to step into the TUJ classroom, there are interactive opportunities, right? It's very project-based. The idea is not to memorize or to be lectured at, but it really is to engage, to be challenged, to be uncomfortable. Because, you know, through those type of experiences, you know, you're able to grow. One of the things that we really challenge our students to do is to get out and to network. We bring in top speakers, and we have leadership academies. We have, you know, a whole host of things in internships. In fact, TUJ recently won the best internship program among all universities in Japan that was awarded by MyNavi. And part of that is really embedding our students in real world settings and scenarios, whether it's inside the classroom or whether it's outside of the classroom. So our students are ready to hit the ground running once they go out into the real world.
Wow, you really got me excited about like the stories of these students. Like, especially like you mentioned, there are like students from 80 different countries, and I'm sure that these students come from different backgrounds, they have different cultures, you know, languages are different. I'm sure, like, can you tell our audience, like, how long you've been working with Temple University, especially here in Japan? And then the stories of students. I'm sure, like, there were, like, very interesting stories, students coming into you, like, talking to you about different things. Can you share some memories from your experiences?
Sure, absolutely. So, you know, my history with Temple is very interesting because, you know, as someone who really did not have an interest in Japan growing up, you know, didn't know much about anime or manga, it just wasn't me. You know, as I volunteered to do some missionary work for my church, they said, we want you to go to Hokkaido, Japan, right? And it was interesting coming to Japan because I truly fell in love with the culture, the people. You know, I figured out, okay, I can speak the language, right, as well. And so, you know, kind of with that mindset and building on that, I was looking for opportunities in Japan. And my goal in life was to become an international lawyer, a kokusai bengoshi, which I did. And as I was looking for the university that would position me to be an international lawyer, that was where I came across Temple University. The idea I could study in the US and study in Japan. International law, Japanese law, American law was so attractive to me that in 1997, I actually was a study abroad student here with TUJ. And that was where I caught the vision. That was where I understood the difference that could be made. And that was what spurred me, after becoming an international lawyer, to come back as a law professor and to become back as a leader. So I was with TUJ from 2003 to 2009. Ended up going back to the United States for family reasons, became a president of 2 American universities before Temple invited me back to become president of the Japan campus. So I've been here now for 4.5 years, but it's really round number 3, right? Once as a student, once as a professor and administrator, and now as the president and the dean of the university. And, you know, having had the opportunity to interact with students has truly been amazing, because when you put students first, you know, it's all about their ideas. So, you know, maybe it's a student coming to me and saying, hey, Dean Wilson, you know, the microwave line downstairs in the cafeteria is too long. What are you going to do about it? And so I'm like, okay, well, you know, let's go get some super high-powered, you know, microwaves that you might see at a convenience store, and let's let's make a rack of them and let's make it work. And the students are like, oh my, my opinion matters, right? You've got the president that will be, listening to me as well, right, along those lines. Or it could be something even more impactful, right? It was one day, I remember it was late at night, and I was walking down the hallway, and I bumped into one of our students from overseas. Her name is Rose. And Rose looked at me and said, hey, Dean Wilson. She's like, why don't we have a dance club here at TUJ? And I said, well, Rose, it's because you haven't done it yourself. She looked at me a little puzzled, and I said, here at TUJ, we're all about students. We want to empower you. I want you to create the club. So we will give you the resources to do it. If you have, 8 to 10 other students that are interested in the club, we will provide you with financial funding. We'll provide you with guidance and direction. And she's like, but we don't have a dance studio. We don't have a dance floor. And I said, well, you've got to be thinking creative, right? Get the people, build it. Let's see what energy comes of that. So I plugged Rose in to our Office of Student Services and Engagement, and before you know it, we had a dance club. And before you know it, they were practicing in the gym. And then I turn around and there's 40, there's 45, there's 50 dancers that are there. And so we decided in Tokyo to go out and to rent some space, turn it into a dance floor, give them the mirrors, everything. And now, our dance club, not only are they out dancing and really engaging, but they've also worked with our communication students to videotape. They're out performing in Tokyo. I mean, it really has been an incredible practical learning experience for them, not only to create a club, but figure out how to get it out on SNS, how to engage with others, how to network. And I mean, it's just truly magical when you see the power of today's generation and what you can do when you provide them with some tools, when you give them some guidance and direction. And so that's one of the things we just love to do at TUJ.
Wow, this is amazing. It seems like you are very much interested in what students have to say, and you love to spend time with them. But I wonder, being the dean, the president of the university, I assume you don't have time to, if they want to invite you for a trip or something, for a school trip, Dean Wilson, can you join us? Or let's say there's a game going on and they want you to join. Do you make time for that? Is it possible for you?
I am a little bit different, right, in terms of I think what you will see. Probably a normal university president, you'd never come across, be locked in meetings, engaging with others. But really, where I drive my energy from and why I'm in higher education is because of the students, right? And really the mindset is as a leader, you should be a servant leader. And part of that is engaging with students, getting to know students, right? So, today in studio, we actually have one of our students, Soren Dixon. And I remember an interaction with Soren. It was before classes even started, his day before classes, we're having a big party at the university, and I turn and Soren's standing there next to me, and we strike up a conversation, and it was like, hey, do you like baseball? And as we started to talk about baseball, I was looking at Soren, and I looked at Soren and I said, do you play baseball? And he said, yes. And I said, oh, I've got a team. And would you be interested, in playing with the dean? And so he lit up, and so 2 years removed, not only Soren, but we have other TUJ students that are playing on the baseball team, right? I get out and I play basketball with the students. I'm challenging students to ping pong matches, right? If they beat me at table tennis, they get a prize. I mean, if they lose, they still get a prize, but we're not telling them that, right, along those lines. But we'll pull that out in the middle of the cafeteria or our facilities, and we'll engage. And then one of the things that I believe is truly important is engaging the student on that personal level. So once a semester, so 3 times a year, my wife and I actually will sponsor a trip with students where we will take students on a weekend excursion, and they get to know us. They also get to listen to my jokes, for better or worse. And so sometimes I get applause, but a lot of times I get that was a terrible joke. But regardless, we have fun. So this last summer, we did whitewater river rafting and a river barbecue, and we did an onsen. We've gone hiking. We've taken students up to Hakone. This coming semester, actually in March, we're going to take a group of students from our Kyoto campus and the Tokyo campus, and we're going to go to Nagasaki at the invitation of the Nagasaki governor. We have a collaboration with Nagasaki, and so we'll be able to see some of the sites, engage with students and people in Nagasaki, and me and my wife will be leading that. I think it's a 3-day, 2-night trip that's there as well. But we truly do believe that those things are important to let the students know that, hey, we're just like a family. We're a community. We're here to support you. The door is always open. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is. If I have a student that is interested in talking, that wants to walk in my door, that wants to give me a suggestion, the students know that my inbox and email is open, my social media account is active, and they can correspond with me, or even live in person, they can have a conversation, and I'm there to help.
Wow, that's very interesting. Like, I don't remember going out with my dean for like a school trip or like playing basketball or soccer or something. So it's very different and unique to hear that.
It really is, and it's different and unique from my experience as well. Because if you ask me who the president or the dean was when I went to college, I have no idea. I mean, I don't even remember who my high school principal was, right? And I never would see that individual that's there. But I truly, when I came to TUJ as a student in 1997, what was different was the faculty cared. It was very personalized. It was an opportunity for me to engage and to learn and to meet. And so as I was a student at TUJ, which was much smaller than my experience in the U.S. in big universities, to me, that truly made an impact. It made a difference. And as I set my goal on becoming an educator, I made a commitment to being accessible. Because oftentimes, you may think as a student, the answer, and maybe this is the only pathway. But one of the things I've learned in life is there's so many different pathways. And the more people I talk to, I find out that there are different solutions to the same problem. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I learned coming to Japan was being raised in the United States. I'm like, there's only one pathway, there's only one solution. But as I branched out and learned about different cultures, I'm like, there's many ways to approach this. And hopefully, through my own experiences, that's something that I can convey to students and help them with.
Wow, that's amazing. I was going through your social media page and I saw this Dean's Distress Day. Would you like to talk about it? Because I saw like a lot of students, they're like happy and, smiling. What got you into that? Like what's special? How is it special to you?
Yeah, so stress is part of a tough American challenging education, right? That's one of the things that I think is different about Temple from maybe other folks is it really takes a lot of effort, right? You're learning in English. It's very challenging. It's interactive. There's a lot of stress that builds up, right? Father of 4, 2 of them have graduated college. I guess 3 of them have. I still have 2 that are in that university world, and I've seen the stress that can build up, and particularly when people are away from home, right? There's an added level of stress, and so how do you de-stress? How do you get rid of stress, right? Well, food is a great antidote to stress. And I learned that as being previous president, I was like, if I bring out food, the smiles come, people relax, the conversations flow, people understand that, this person truly cares about me. So when I came to TUJ 4 years ago as the dean and the head of the campus, I was like, I'm going to create an event, a new culture. And so 3 times a semester, I will go into the community and purchase food. And then in the entryway to our buildings, I will distribute that personally to students with a smile, with a question of how are you doing? What can we do to make it better? And really engage with students, which, again, creates that sense of community. So I think I have some Japan-wide records in Tokyo that I've established. So Domino's Pizza, for instance, they delivered 1,000 pizzas to me in 90 minutes using 16 stores in Tokyo. And instead of just giving students one slice of pizza, they got an entire box. So 8 different slices, 1 box, boom. Subway sandwiches, again, very American, right? Because we're an American university, top ranked. Like Subway sandwiches, that's all about Philadelphia. So I think I've done 1,500 Subway sandwiches. Taco Bell, we had the Taco Bell mascot. I think we did 1,400 burritos. Sometimes it's pie, sometimes it's shoe cream. And so it really has become an event where students ask me constantly, when's the next Dean's Distress Day? What are we getting? They give me suggestions that, unfortunately, I don't think I can pull off sometimes, but it truly has turned our campus into a place to not only study, but a place to be.
Wow, that is amazing. And talking about students coming to Japan, to Tokyo or Kyoto, what do you have like programs for your students? Let's say they're like students from Japan, or let's say students from other countries, but they want to go out somewhere, like to some other school or some other country, just to experience that culture or the educational system. Do you have programs for your students where they could go to other schools? Do you have collaborations with other universities? Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
We do. As a public university in the U.S. that's ranked in the top 50 of all American public universities, we attract a lot of partners. And so, here at TUJ, for instance, if we have a student that wants to go to Korea, for say, and let's say study at Yonsei University, we've got a partnership with them, and they go to Korea for a semester, and then they'll, come back to Japan. One of the unique things about Temple University Japan is our students, they study here in Kyoto now, or Tokyo, but they graduate from our main campus in Pennsylvania. So it's great. And one of the things that we have done to get our students out is we have partnered even more with our main campus. So, our tuition is about 1.8 million per year, about 180 man. So if you split that in half, it's about 90 man yen for one semester, 900,000 yen. And the students that study here, if they want to go to Philadelphia or the United States, normally, it's probably 2, 3, or 4 times more expensive than studying here at our campus. But we have this new Fly to Philly program where students that study at TUJ, if they want to go to Philadelphia for a semester or 2 or 3, they can actually go at our prices instead of the U.S. prices. And so that really gets students going. Here in Kyoto, to give you an example, kind of on the inbound side, we have a group from Mexico who's here with us this semester from a top university there. We have a top university from India who's sending students to us in the summer. They want us to reciprocate as well. So if our students wanted to go anywhere in Asia, the United States, we have a campus in Rome that was established in 1966. They can go there seamlessly and have that international experience even beyond Japan.
Wow, that's amazing. And what about do you have special scholarship programs for the students? Let's say there are students who are struggling financially for some reason. Is there a way for them to reach out to student office where they could get some kind of financial aid? Or do you have any programs that you would like to talk about?
Absolutely. So, our admissions counseling department, they can be contacted at TUJAC. Or actually, AC at tuj.ac.jp, or you can just find it on our website, tuj.ac.jp. But there you'll have a list of scholarships. In conjunction with our new Kyoto campus, we have some special scholarships that we're rolling out that make it even more affordable. And then for students that are continuing, not only do we have initial scholarships, but we also have a continuing student scholarship. For high school students that are coming out of public high schools, we actually have a full ride scholarship called the Mochida Stronek Scholarship. We have the Dean Scholarship. Definitely something to check out. And we do hold here in Kyoto open campuses. So we have one that's coming up at 2 p.m. on the 25th of January. The doors are open for anyone, their parents, to come in and explore a little bit more. Our next open campus will be the last Sunday in March. We invite people to explore our scholarships, explore our campus, explore what an American education here in Japan has in store for them.
Wow, amazing. So one of the concerns that students these days have is about finding a job. And I wonder, at your school, do you have internships, programs where students could go out and work at companies so that they could have that networking that they're looking for? Can you talk about it a little bit for the students who are concerned about that?
We do. We have a comprehensive career services office here in Japan that can assist students that want jobs here in Japan. And so that's part one. For a student that wanted to go overseas to the United States, our career services in Philadelphia can help because students here at TUJ are Temple students. Our internship program, I mean, we place students in embassies and consulates, in schools, in top companies, really, all types of walks of life. Typically, the students will get credit academically and go into a company and work about 10 hours a week. And that was the program that I had mentioned where we won an award with MyNavi that was like truly phenomenal. And so some of the companies you've probably heard of, like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, those type of companies, anywhere from that to NPOs to startup companies. And so there are opportunities for our students while they're in school, again, with that practical knowledge, so that when they're coming out, our job placement rate is about 97%.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, we have very short time left, and I just want to end our podcast on a lighter note. Would you like to share any a funny story that you or experience that you had with a student, like a small thing that you did for a student and that student remembered, or something would be interesting?
Sure, absolutely. So, it's one of those things where when we talk about students first, right, and making a difference, I mean, that's what really education is about, right? Is teaching folks to be leaders, to serve others and the like. And so there was one day where there were 3 students, they're sitting at a table, and I was going around table to table asking students, hey, is there anything that I could do as head of the organization, as president, to make your experience better? And in the United States, there's something called mini corn dogs, right? They're small, like American dogs, as you would say in Japan. And these 3 students, I think half as a joke, said, our life has been destroyed because the cafeteria no longer serves mini corn dogs. And so I said, okay, let me see what I can do as the top dog of the university, right? So the next day I walk into this very serious meeting with the CFO, my COO, like all the top folks. And the first thing on my agenda was mini corn dogs. And everybody was like, what is that about? And I said, students. And I said, we need to get mini corn dogs back. Now, fortunately, because of this student first mentality, my leadership, they had that same vision. And so as I was talking, the chief operating officer texted the head of food services and said, we need to put mini corn dogs back on the menu. So, I mean, literally this was like 7 or 8 years ago. But in December, I had one of these students that actually reached out to me and said, hey, I was thinking about you. We connected on LinkedIn. And she said, I'm so excited. And she said, I just have to tell you that the impact that you made on me as a student was just truly incredible, because here were 3 people and we were struggling to get through school. And literally, as you came and had a conversation with us, we were surprised, number one, but we were even more surprised when a couple of weeks later, all of a sudden, mini corn dogs just appeared on the menu. And so she said, I see what an impact is being made at Temple University, Japan. I see what an incredible place it is. It was incredible back then when mini corn dogs appeared. I'm sure that the same thing is happening with students today. And so she said, I wish you and TUJ not only the best, but, your commitment to students, your commitment to success, your commitment to making the world just this better place is so well appreciated.
Wow, that's amazing. Are you planning on giving mini corn dogs for your next Student Distress Day?
That suggestion was made to me by somebody here in studio that what about mini corn dogs? So that's going to have to be my next mission. Compliments of Soren's suggestion was to find mini corn dogs in Japan. If not, we'll find some type of substitute to put the smile on the student's face.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Matt. It's always lovely talking to you. Have a wonderful day.
Well, thanks so much. And we're so excited about what we have to offer here in Kyoto. We're over by the Fushimi Inari Shrine, Seibo Jogakuin campus. Come and check us out, tuj.ac.jp. Go Temple, go Owls, go TUJ.